So my name is Sabrina. Good afternoon and welcome to the Hayward Unified School District's Parent University Authentic Family Engagement Two-Generation Approach, Parent Ambassadors, and How to Adapt Family Engagement Programs during distance learning. I'm excited to have the opportunity to share with you some of the models that our district is using to increase parent participation. And we are very lucky in Hayward Unified that we increased our participation rates by 300% in just 2 years. So you're going to hear a little bit about these programs. My name is Sabrina Aranda. I am the director of Hayward Promise Neighborhood, and I also support family engagement in the district. And this work is really near and dear to my heart, especially because I'm alumni of Hayward Unified. I was raised here in this neighborhood, and also I'm a proud aunt of 2 school-age students, one in elementary and one in middle school. And I'd like to now take the time to turn it over to my colleagues and the co-presenters for this afternoon.
Hi, everyone. My name is Denize Maldonado, and I am the Parent Ambassador Supervisor with La Familia in partnership with Hayward Unified. And this work is also really near and dear to my heart. I grew up in Hayward, California as an undocumented student, which sparked my advocacy and passion to come back into the education setting and actually work in the community that I attended and I'm an alum from. So we welcome you, and I hope that you enjoy our presentation.
Hi, everybody. My name is Carol Rivera. I'm Family Engagement Outreach and Equity Specialist at the Hayward Unified School District, specifically Parent Engagement. I've been with the district for about 10 years and also working in research. I'm not only staff, but I'm also a Hayward parent, and I'm a proud parent of a junior in college now, which actually wouldn't have been possible with the support and family engagement that was reached out to me as a young mom. So I'm happy to be here too.
Hi, my name is Norma. I am the Operations Supervisor for the Student and Parent Support Program. I've worked for Hayward Unified School District for 13 years. I'm originally from Beirut, Lebanon, so I'm a second language learner. I'm also a proud mom of a maiden Hayward son who is now a biology major at San Jose State University. Welcome to our presentation, and I hope you benefit a lot from some of the information that will be provided to you.
So we have a lot of information to share. So please take the time to, we ask our participants to ask questions in the chat. And also we will try to do our best to address them during the presentation and at the end as well. So we will talk a little bit quickly just so that you can get all of the information in the short amount of time that we have. So we also encourage you to turn on your camera so that we're able to kind of see if you feel comfortable with that. And to get started, we wanted to kind of take a poll with who is in our space currently. So if you can help us fill out the poll, we're going to put into a chat. It is menti.com, and there is a code, which is 219-34228. And it's allowing us to find out whether you're a district administrator, if you're a parent, if you're a teacher, a principal, or school site staff. So I'm going to share the screen of our poll today, but if you can actually complete the poll, that will help us kind of take the time to see who's in our space today. Give everybody a couple of minutes or a minute or two.
There we
So
go.
again, the code is 219-34228, and it's menti.com.
I also posted it in the chat.
Thank you. So we have a lot of teachers that are joining us this afternoon. We also have family engagement staff, counselor, parents, district leaders, and also we have some site leaders and one board member. So thank you all for joining us this afternoon. And we're really looking forward to hopefully providing you with a lot of information that you can take back to your districts and programs and possibly model as well. Okay, so a little bit about our presentation. Our participants will learn just specific tools and strategies and techniques for engaging a diverse family and at a distance. And so as we get started, our agenda today is who are we? An overview of our two-generation approach, our family engagement programs, how we've sustained them, and the structures that we have at our district. We'll take some time to answer questions, and we'll also have a workshop evaluation at the end. So who are we? We are located about 20 minutes south of Oakland, California. We have a population of 19,802 students in our district. 73% of those students are free and reduced lunch, 11% are students with special needs, and 30% are English language learners. And as you can see, the population that we have is about 60% of our parents, our students are Hispanic or Latino. And it's really our district's vision to ensure students are well prepared, challenged, and motivated in a 21st century learning environment that develops the physical, intellectual, and emotional success of all learners. So I know that you are here today to learn a little bit more about our family engagement approach. And really what we want to say is that authentic relationship is really critical in the ability for you to have a well-rounded family engagement program and opportunity at your district. So again, this did not happen overnight. As you can see, we did have a few years where we were able to increase our participation drastically. But in 2014-15, I'd say we were just doing the traditional parent engagement model where we had meetings once a month. They were on different topics, such as supporting your child with special needs, helping your English language learners at home, and different resources. And no matter what we did to market this information to our families, we did flyers, we did NTI or Blackboard calls home. We've done in-person, communication to families, but we still would only get about 20 to 50 parents per workshop. So we knew we were not being successful in really engaging the 14,000 families that we had within our district. So in 2015-16, we adopted the two-generation approach model. And this began with some Saturday classes, which you're going to hear a little bit more about in our presentation. And these classes allowed parents and families to work together to actually engage the whole family. And as you can see, we also opened a parent resource center hub. This was an old school that was not being utilized. And so we transformed it into a parent resource center hub where parents felt comfortable to come and obtain information. And it really felt like their space and their environment to really feel engaged and connected. And so in 2015 and 16, we were able to increase the 216 participants to 1,095. So quickly, we began to increase our participation and the trust that we had with families. And then in 2016-17, we started our partnership program with, and we created the Parent Ambassador Program, which you will also hear more information about as well. And with those models, we continue to increase our participation. And in 2017-18, we had about 5,000 participants. And then in 2018 and 19, with the help of these different programs and parents being engaged in our Parent Ambassador Program, the district decided to reallocate the Title I funds from the school site to the district level in one pot. And they were able to fund a 15-hour to 40-hour family engagement outreach and equity specialist at every single school site. And as you can see, we went from 41% to 84% of parent participation. So as you can see, there's a number of different programs that we have where we utilized different components to engage families that really helped more of our families and community engage with us at our district. And so I'm going to turn it over to Carol Rivera, who's going to talk a little bit more about the two-generation approach and some of our engagement programs.
Yeah, sorry, I was answering a question in the chat. Yeah, so the two-generation approaches allow us to seek positive outcomes for the entire family. Single generation programs typically define outcomes solely for parents or children and don't take into account the different responsibilities and dependencies of parent-child relationships and the importance that family members actually have in the success of their child's academic and mental success, right? So this framework actually allows us to serve both the needs of our students and their families simultaneously. And we've also taken work from Epstein and MAP. The next slide. So two-generation strategies do not necessarily require creating new and programs entirely or creating different budgets. In our experience, we actually added parental components to child-focused programs like our family classes, which were typically extracurricular activities. And then we added child components to parent-focused programs like Second Chance and Parent Ambassadors. So Parent University focuses on supporting our families with resources on parenting and strategies in adapting a positive learning at home environment too. So they're learning and they're taking everything back to their home, right? So the next slide. So here you see some benefits of the two-generation approach. An example of how we adapted this was the case of our Bridge to Algebra family class. Our parents expressed a need for support for their children in this domain. And we heard it at board meetings, we heard it on surveys, we heard it in conversations with parents. So the district knew that it was also something very important that they wanted to work with. So what we did was we tailored one of our 6-week classes into being a kind of like a train the trainer model where the parent would come in with their student and learn from a teacher how to support them with their homework. So in this sense, you're helping the parent learn how to help their child, and then they can just continuously do that at home afterwards as well. So this not only fostered relationships between family, students, and the district, but then our teachers also became involved in the power of family engagement, which is really important as well. And that way our families feel welcome and confident in asking teachers for support as well, right? And now we have a short video, which will just show you kind of like a summary of Parent University, and then we'll go more in depth afterwards.
You see the video, Carol? Carol, can you see the video?
Yes. All right, so that was just a small glimpse, and I'm going to just jump into our family component of services, and in a little bit, my colleagues will provide more information regarding the other services that we are offering. So we all know that the pandemic kind of took us all by storm, and from one day to the next, you know, we were all shut down, and we were really concerned about reaching out to our families to making sure that they were safe, that they had resources and information to keep them so. right? So when the district decided to go virtual, they realized that there were struggles of families not having devices or access to internet, among several other things, right? So after massive distributions of Chromebooks and hotspots, Parent University organized itself to provide an online platform of workshops in an attempt to remain in communication with our families. And we called them Parent Power Sessions. So our first workshop topic gave information on how to support your child with Google Classroom. And we had 130 families in attendance on Zoom. And our goals of these power sessions were to continue engaging our families while working in crisis and living in crisis, right? Providing information to distance learning support and technology, sharing resources for basic needs, COVID-19 and mental health. Next slide. Sorry, my dog wants to come inside. Okay. So here's 4 strategies to successfully plan a power session or workshop or any online gathering. Basically planning. So we had a group of people. We surveyed also our family availability and the topics that they were interested in. We found out that Tuesdays and Fridays were actual days that they were available. So then power sessions were kind of brought to life on Tuesday evenings, right? And we also met with other family engagement professionals, parents, and administrators to come up with topics and days. You can go to the, oh, actually, never mind, just say still is there. So I'll share more about the communication part when I talk a little bit about marketing. And then partnering, so work with school district staff and community-based organizations that are already in your community. So there's a wealth of information sitting in your own backyards, and it's definitely underused, right? So we had teachers signing up to lead classes, we had community-based organizations, we had counselors. So we just used all of our partnerships to kind of bring this information to our families. And then you're not done there, right? So we also evaluate our programs and our topics. So we do an after action review to see what went well and what can we do better. And we decided that a webinar feature, it was something that we did at the beginning, was really too impersonal. So we decided to just do a regular Zoom format and let people kind of interact and have discussions, like they could unmute their phone, their cameras, their mute buttons and everything, and ask questions into the chat. So there was a little definitely more engagement, which is we wanted to make it as in-person like as possible, right, to the most of our capabilities. And then also, so we were actually really grateful for the interpretation feature on Zoom, because before we kind of realized that there was that, we had to do like an emergency backup Google Hangouts that parents had to call in. So definitely, and that's only available actually in an upgraded Zoom account. So, and then, so this actually further evolved to collecting information. So we were able to send surveys to our families, asking them how the power sessions went, which topics did they go to see, what do they want more of. And we were able to do that because we did the pre-registration feature. And now we actually customize our registration questions to also collect data regarding if a parent has a student that might be an English language learner, might be foster youth, may have special needs. So that way we can tailor out resources specifically to them. And then we could also use it as LCAP information and other things. So these are parent workshops that we do on Tuesday night. So these do not include the children. I'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. Yes. Okay, and you can go to the next slide. So we're lucky that our families enjoy and are able to access these power sessions. And you can see that we have already, so if you go to the next slide. No, it's not that slide, it's before that. There, okay, oh, the other one. Yay, okay, so there you can actually see that we've already surpassed the amount of families engaged this spring compared to last year. And for your interest, here's like a list of different types of topics that we've covered. And these were presented by teachers, different departments within the school district that were presenting, maybe on bullying. We also had legal advocacy groups were presenting on tenants' rights. We had La Familia that was presenting more on mental health and supporting your children during distance learning. And these were all topics that we were hearing parents wanted more information on, right? and you can, right. So marketing. So it's really important to market intentionally and to be aware of your family's communication preference and really meet them where they're at. So what works for one person may not work for another. So we spread our information using a plethora of different types of methods to be able to reach as many families as we can, right? So the main thing you want to do in any type of event is obviously create a flyer, and we love Canva, and it's a free online tool that you can use to design PowerPoints, flyers. I did the virtual backgrounds that we're using today on there, and it's free for everybody to make an account. And we also use Feedstar, which is a database that parents can subscribe to whatever schools they want to get information from. And that also provides templates of different flyers, right? So if you make something appealing and the things that are important, like the who, what, where, when, why, they'll have access to that. So next, if you have access to a website, use it and update it frequently. Sometimes we aren't maintaining things up to date, right? So parents will stop checking and stop kind of seeing the information that you have on there. So I think we update our website about maybe 3 to 4 times a week, and make sure that you have easy to access links and easy to read text, as well as like appealing photographs that makes it very like parent friendly. Right, in the video we showed you, you saw kind of a snapshot of our parent meetings website. That's for our power sessions, and you'll see it again actually in the next couple slides. But we also have a parent university website where we post our family class information on there. And then we have our overall general HUSD website for the district. And then every school also has their own website. So parents are now getting in the habit of checking these different types of platforms. And if you're not on social media, you're missing out on a great way to connect with your families. A lot of our families are actually on Facebook, and now they're recently getting on Instagram. So you can actually follow us to see if you want any examples of what it is that we're doing, posting on your story, flyers, articles, all of that makes it really easy for parents to just see if they have 5 minutes available, maybe to check a post, and they're able to kind of capture that, right? And they can always follow up with our office or any of our staff if they want more information. And also, in addition, so you want to use as many resources as you can. Some of our favorite ones are our district communication tools. So Blackboard we use, and don't underestimate your connections with the community-based organizations, kind of how I mentioned. So strong partnerships matter when it comes to sharing resources and information. And the next slide, I'll kind of give you a little breakdown of how we use Blackboard. And this is another snapshot of our parent meetings website. And as you can see, this is on the kind of on the right, is kind of like the schedule. So we send out an email with flyers and information the Wednesday before the power session. So the power session's on Tuesday, you know, we kind of close that topic. Then Wednesday, we begin to funnel out information, family engagement staff, so they can relate it to their families. Then Thursday, parents receive an email and a voicemail through Blackboard. So whatever we have in the database for Hayward Unified, they're getting an email and a phone number. Then the Tuesday of the workshop, 10 minutes before the workshop begins, they get a text message with a Zoom link. So it's just clickable, right? And that's actually, the text I think has been proven really successful because parents, you know, they're really busy, and we also try to remind them constantly so it doesn't confuse them with all the different types of communication that are going on through the district, right? So constant reminders are really good for them. And just make sure that, yeah, that your links are available in multiple places and are sent several times. So, okay, so moving on. So what you didn't see in the video were our district-wide family events that we call Academic Excellence Days. And pre-pandemic, we hosted 3 to 5 of these a year, and they each had a theme like visual and performing arts, STEAM, or technology. There were conference carnival style tables and tents set up. So parents could participate in workshops and activities, and they were incredibly popular and attracted between 250 to 400 families each, participants each. We hope that we can resume this in the coming school year, but this was kind of like a highlight of parent engagement. All the families loved it. They came in and they participated with their child. So that's that two-gen approach too, right? And in the video, you were able to see a little bit about our family classes. And originally, Sabrina mentioned that they were held on Saturdays for 90 minutes. And these are offered from $0 to $25, depending on what it is that they're taking. And that includes all 5 to 6 weeks, all materials, and all the family members, right? And the first year was rough, of course, funneling out the information, trying to get parents interested and actually seeing that it was something worth their time, that they could spend time with their family, that they could learn. That now by word of mouth, these family classes typically fill up in about a day or two. So they're actually, we wish we could do them more often, but we are only offering them one time in the fall and then one time in the spring. And yeah, so you saw that we did the pilot 3 classes, and then now that we saw that the classes were doable and they were very successful, we were able to expand and double our offerings. And I'm gonna pass it on to my colleague because I feel like we're running out of time for some reason. And yeah, so if you have any questions, I'll try to kind of skim in the chat to see what I can catch up on. If not, you'll get our contact information at the end of the presentation. And Norma will now tell you about Second Chance.
Thank you, Carol. Okay, so I'm gonna be quick. Second Chance at College is a partnership program with the Hayward Unified School District and our community college, which is Chabelle. It started in 2014. This program really meant to encourage and support the Hayward Unified School District parents to go back to college. Now, we've served around 165 parents so far with a 496 credit earned, and we saved the parents around $23,000 in total. In the beginning, we were serving around 12 to 20 parents per semester, and they were averaging a 98% rate of passing. But now we're serving more of a 24 to 27 because we had moved and changed. We're offering the early childhood development education courses. This class costs the parents only $25. And this fee will include the book rental, the child care. Even now, after we moved into distant learning because of the pandemic, we were still charging the $25, but child care is not provided. So their families are at home benefiting from this program. Now, what was important to this class is for us to celebrate with the parents. And after completing every class, we wanted to recognize their achievements and also create a meaningful relationship with them. So during the celebration, we provided a certificate and we allowed the parents to break bread together with their children. This program is really important to me because I was once one of those parents trying to figure out how to go to college, how to complete my education. I actually started going to Chabelle and I earned 6 ECD classes before I started working for the Hayward Unified School District. Going to Chabelle was very intimidating. It's a big campus. It was new to me. I didn't know how to navigate the system. It was hard for me to figure out where I need to go. So that's why it took me 6 years to graduate with my AA degree, which takes much less to other people. I'm a Cal State graduate right now. I share my story with our parents just to let them know that they are not alone, and if they put their minds to it, they will succeed. One other thing I do share with the parents that are wanting to continue their education is that the parents can share that with their children, and seeing how their children seeing them study and do homework will encourage them to do better in school. And I always say that there are no age limit to education. So you could be as old as I am and be able to go to school and get your education. Our classes also offers counselors to come and talk to the parents about what's the next step for them and to ask questions to help them plan their future education. And some of our professors accommodate some of the Spanish-speaking parents to turn in their homework in Spanish and get credit for that homework. If you have any questions about this program, I know we're short on time, but please feel free to put it in the chat and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Now I'm going to turn it over to Denize to talk a little bit more about our Parent Ambassador program.
Yeah, thank you, Norma. So our Parent Ambassador program started in 2015, and initially we first started with 25 parents. And it's a partnership program between Hayward Unified and La Familia, which is a nonprofit organization primarily for mental health and other community resources. And so one of the things that our program does is that we provide parents and guardians the opportunity to develop leadership and advocacy skills while supporting their child's academic success. And our parent ambassadors help increase the district's capacity around building a community of parent leaders that then help outreach and support families in our district and connecting them not only to school site and district events and resources, but also to community and health and wellness resources. Our program is funded through the county, through Alameda County Center for Healthy School and Communities. And the center funds basically organizations like La Familia and other nonprofits to provide school-based health services for districts. And so we do this at a free cost to the district. We do believe that if the child's basic needs are met, then the child can come into the classroom ready to learn. And that is why this program exists. Over the past 5 years, our program has more than doubled in participation. Like I said, we started with 25 applicants and we just accepted all 25 parents on that first year. This year, we were very grateful that we had 111 applicants to our program. And we have 51 parents currently enrolled. And they receive over 1,000 hours in professional development on a yearly basis, which is then done through these monthly meetings. Usually it's every Monday evening from 6 to 8. We provide childcare, we provide interpretation, and we provide snack for our parents. That was pre-COVID. Right now we are in the virtual world. So of course we're doing these virtually, but we are still providing everything except the childcare and the food. And we provide different professional development, ranging from district initiatives to also community and health resources. Our program is really meant to coach parents. It is a multi-tier program where we do have some parent leaders who are stipended, and we call our parent ambassador leads, who then coach our new parents who are coming into our program, and also help them learn skills that are livable and transition them into jobs into the district or in other community organizations. And we have successfully had parents who went through our program and are now district staff or community organizations staff. And one of the successes from our programs is also that we are a recognized body from the district and when it comes to feedback for LCAP and LCFF, as well as, there are 3 major groups of parents in our district, which are our DLAC, our District English Language Advisory Committee, as well as our African American Student Achievement Initiative, which is ASAI, and then parent ambassadors. So these 3 groups are the primary groups that the district comes to for feedback and to run things through, right, before they spread the word to other parents. And they're really the ambassadors that then take that information and share with other parents, specifically the ones that are hard to reach, right? Because we know that parents trust other parents more than they trust staff. And so they really go out and connect with the families that maybe don't have the time and the resources to volunteer in the classroom, right? That aren't present all the time, that have to work. And so they connect those parents with some of the upcoming initiatives and resources. This year, although we've had some challenges, we've also had successes, especially when it comes to data. So if some of you are not familiar, there is this platform called Salesforce, which allows for data tracking. And in the past, we used to just have our parents complete paper forms of their involvement and their participation, but there was no way for us to link it to positive student outcomes. And so what we've done is we've used Salesforce and created Parent Force, which is a platform that exists within Salesforce that now tracks their participation, attendance, and also their data and referrals, and links it directly to student academics and student data. And so then we're able to prove that parent engagement actually does impact student success. And that is something that we're very excited about. We're still rolling it out. This year was our pilot year. And so we're very excited to continue to grow that. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that offline, but we will be sharing a feedback survey at the end where you can ask more questions in case we don't get to it during this presentation. I will transition into the next slide.
Actually, I have a question. Can you go into some detail or explain how the stipend process works? Because our district, we've been pushing parents to do that, and they keep telling us, well, you're not employees, we can't pay you. They're avoiding answering the question.
The way that we do gift cards and the way that we stipend our parents is by partnering with community organizations. Those community-based organizations like La Familia, which is my agency, we work with the district. We have an MOU with the district where we provide the service for free. I coordinate all the services for the district around this program. And therefore, La Familia because we're a nonprofit, we can do what we want with our money and stipend parents. So we stipend them through a 1099, which is a contractor form. And then we're able to put them down as contractors for our agency. And that is how we pay them. That is how we buy gift cards when we incentivize our families as well, because the district doesn't have that flexibility to buy those gift cards, right? Because their funds are so rigid, but we do have those. And so this is why our program works, because we partner not just with the family, but with the community to be able to lead successful programming. Speaking of community, our next program is our fatherhood program and our fatherhood initiative, which we intentionally have been marketing and outreaching to fathers since 2008, but we started actually training our male staff to lead these discussion and social emotional groups for fathers. And it is funded right now through the Fathers Corp, which is a nonprofit in Alameda County that trains on fatherhood development. And so they've trained our male staff for free. And this year we applied for a grant, and now we have that grant to be able to sustain and cover things like childcare, translation, and snacks for our meetings. And so these are intentional father discussion circles. They are only for fathers, and because we always had moms involved in the program, but it was always very difficult. We only had the one or two fathers that would be present. So we wanted to be intentional, because we know research shows that if the dad is involved or a father figure is in the life of the child, the better the success when it comes to academics. And so, Sabrina?
So sorry, this was a lot of information which we said to you, because we really want to just end with saying to our participants is that every parent, just like every child, comes to our district with a different need, right? So you have to be very diverse in what programs you're offering, because that helps engage all families depending on what they're in need of. So as you can see, we had the Saturday fall and spring classes, but we moved them to Friday nights, because we know on Saturdays during distance learning and COVID is that parents are probably trying to get out the house with their children, even if that means a walk around the corner, right? So we moved them to Fridays, but we have conference style events. We have parent power session workshops. We have family engagement specialists, Second Chance at College, parent ambassadors, and the Fatherhood Initiative. And so as you can see, we have tried to do the best that we can to meet the needs of all our parents and families. And so this is a little bit about all the resources and tools. So those are all the websites that you can obtain more information, videos. You can see all of the work that we've been doing. And really, it's the parents that have been voicing this to other parents. When they find out like all these workshops and all these opportunities, they get really excited and they tell somebody else. And that's where our participation has really grown. So I know we only have about 2 minutes, but we have the workshop evaluation, and then here is our contact information. We are open to coming. We've done this with other districts, San Lorenzo Unified. I think that was where parent ambassador program, which is one of our least, I think, expensive programs, has really been instrumental in being able to create parent advocates. And so we're open to coming and actually virtually, now that we have the virtual settings, to come and speak to your school staff and or any partners that you would like to help learn more information about these programs.
Yeah, and we also shared our feedback survey. So if you do want additional information, you can actually complete the survey, and we can put down your email and put down specifically what you have questions on, and we can always reach back out to you to follow up.
Is the Father Corps only for fathers of young kids, or does it apply for adolescents? The Father Corps is for young children, or and also teens. It really we've really met the needs of fathers who have children at all ages.
Even those that have children that no longer live at home.
And we actually have a very small team. This is the team right here that you see, the 4 of us with the 20,000 parents. But really, we don't consider ourselves the only team. We consider our parents to be team, and we really try to do the best that we can to engage them in the process.
Thank you so much, ladies. And just because of time, I want to thank you for being here and all of you for participating. We do now have 10-minute recess to just kind of sort of set ourselves out and get back to our next session. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and thank you again, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.